Well, where the fuck did you go? Where did you go? Sneaky goddamn assets. Where did you go? Is it in here? Did I save it in a folder that I would recognize? Probably not, because I'm dumb. It's okay, though. I can figure it out. Here I am, sitting by myself, talking to myself. Are we feeling maid outfit today? I think we might be. Nah. Yes. Watch out, guys. Some guys are only about that thing, that thing, that thing. Bum, 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 yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. For your friend, never called you again. Hey, Maple! How the fuck do I do a shout out? I gotta type it in, don't I? Fuck. Then you'll probably do it again. Let me shout you out to the no one that's watching. Genuine. How are we doing? What's new? What's hot? What's happening? What's bumping? What's the haps on the craps? Where the fuck did I put this? I'm looking for the folder that I have all of my assets for the background. And I just like... There's no way I deleted it. Background, there we go. Oh, okay. Maple, I don't do anything I don't want to do. Except go to work. Why would I do things that I don't want to do? I want to do that. If you got yen. Wait, is the trash can a separate thing? Ooh, cool. Okay, that's good to know. Things with Maple are going fine. Working on some more assets for stream stuff. Nice. By chance, can you... Do you got time for a commission? Because I really need to get a proper schedule up, and I just can't be fucked to like make a nice looking schedule. I can fill the room with trash cans. I'm not gonna though. But that's a good idea for next time. I could fill the room with fire. Lots of fire. Look at how much fire I could fill. I love that my background was made by a like prominent smut artist. Will Muzzy does. Well, I mean, just Google Will Muzzy and you'll see. Be warned, you're about to Google very big titties. You can take commissions? All right, we'll talk later. That thing. Will Muzzy also has a comic called, I think it's the Iron Circus. Ironheart Rune. Sorry, not Iron Circus. Ironheart Rune. That kicks a whole lot of ass. It's a bummer that they haven't continued it yet. I need more caffeine. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'd want to, because I tried to do this earlier with a Nope. There we go. Yeah, because I wanted to make an Italian like restaurant menu, and I could do it theoretically, but like I kind of need to have it. I need to do the schedule soon rather than later. Otherwise, I'm just never gonna do it. Yeah. How? But yeah. What was I saying? I don't know. I don't know. I should figure out. Yeah, like a. I'll send you examples later. Yep. Man, I had a full day already, and it's only 12:30. It wasn't actually that full of a day. I just I went down to yeah, I went to the makerspace and helped fill a shit ton of first aid kit refills for like street medics around here, which is good. I really want to start making as gifts for my friends, like sewing a nice pouch and then doing just filling it with first aid stuff. Because if you buy it in bulk, it's not bad. Like it's not, if you buy it in bulk, it's it's still a lot of money, but you get more bang for your buck. I almost forgot to tell you, a university local to me has a makerspace that I could use if I want to do it. Not only will you make really attractive, hot friends, but you'll have access to a shit ton of tools that will fucking ruin you on other less industrial machines. Ruin you. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. Okay, I can do this. I'm currently playing Project Silverfish, like literally right now because I forgot that I like got halfway through one of the like dungeons in it, and I can't save mid dungeon and quit, so I have to finish it, and I'm like almost done. So like it'll only take a few seconds, but but yeah, like I'm super loaded down with loot, so I'm running really slowly, and I still have to loot another area. But give me like 5 minutes and I'll be done. I can't believe how forgetful I am. I also bought a little sewing kit roughly 2 weeks ago. Nice. I need to rebuild my emergency sewing kit. I basically just have a little like white thread, black thread, and like 2 needles. I think that's it. Which is really all you need for like emergency repair. Oh, and plus, JD Lady and I were talking about this. There are these cloth patch kits that are like super fucking sticky. So yeah, yeah, I just need to I need to re-up the kit and just make it a little more functional. But I like hand sewing things is something that I so desperately want to practice and never will. I know I never will ever. But I mean, like, unless shit hits the fan, I'm never really going to need to. And if shit does hit the fan, I'll have time to practice. What the fuck just hit me? Is there a project that you want to work on? Like, I would, like, go in with as much whimsy and joy as you can, but I warn you that makerspaces are the death of focus if you're not careful. Like, I've had to forbid myself, unfortunately, I've had to forbid myself from the blacksmith shop, and the what's it called? Machine shop. Otherwise, I will just get so lost in multiple projects that I'll never finish any of them. So, like, my main focus right now is sewing, and, like, occasionally woodworking. But, which reminds me, I need to finish my friend's 8-foot polearm extension project. What the fuck? Sorry, I'm getting attacked by something fucking invisible that I've never been attacked by before. How strange. I'd just like to increase my sewing skill. I'd like to be able to repair my clothes when they rip or the stitching comes undone. Yeah, basic repairs. And, like, the thing that I've kind of, like, just accepted about, like, my hand sewing is that I can do something functional enough that will stay forever. It won't look pretty, but it will stay for fucking ever. Which is handy for a lot of the clothes that I have, especially because being a bigger guy, I have a tendency to rip a lot of my stuff. But yeah, like, the actual hand stitching stuff, I also need to learn how to hand stitch some things simply because it's easier than, like, doing it on a sewing machine, or, like, is required to do by hand rather than a sewing machine, simply because, like, you know, sewing patches on the sleeve of a jacket. But one of the tricks that I learned, which is, it seems like less of a trick and more of a, like, thing that you should just do, is marking out all of your stitching points before you hand stitch them, rather than just, like, do it by eye. Like, you get a ruler out, you say, I'm going to stitch through here, 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 and then you just do that. You follow that guide as opposed to, like, doing it based on vibes, which I watch a bunch of people do it by vibes, but that's because they've been doing it for 30 years. Eventually would being able to make my own clothes that fit me. Would want a sewing machine. Yeah. Well, thankfully, the sewing machines that you need for that are pretty cheap. Do your research for sure. But that makerspace is going to have industrial machines. I guarantee it. Perkabeth! How you doing, Perkabeth? How are we doing? What's the haps? What's the new? It's a very small maker's space, but I know they have a sewing machine. Cool. Or you could move to Minneapolis. But that's probably a lot. It's also very cold here. some people don't like that. I don't get it, but can I make this fucking thing yet? I swivel. God, I just need one more component. Oh, I should probably stop playing though. Sorry, playing Project Silverfish, trying to get to the end of a dungeon. I get to the end of the dungeon and my brain immediately moves on to the next thing as opposed to quitting out and paying attention to the stream. I'm good. Finally got a text saying that saying it's over regarding the girl. Which was expecting after a month. Glad she was willing to offer the closure, though I didn't need it at that point. Wow, okay. Well, on to the next. That sucks, but do keep us appraised of the next venture. Best of luck. That's excellent. Yeah, being friends is great. Sorry, 1 second. I thought about moving up there, or at least in train riding distance of it, if it didn't get as cold as it does. Yeah, it gets brutally Arctically cold, like literally Arctic conditions. It's pretty rough. But I like it. I love it. We are currently in mud season, so that's fun. And if you don't know what mud season is, I'm going to give you 3 guesses. I would rather be cold than hot, so I get that. Yeah. Well, it's unfortunate because it gets fucking hot here. And the fucking landlady, like, the look that I gave the landlady was not one I could help. When she said, because my apartment didn't have air conditioning, she said, first off, you can just open your windows. Which, like, okay, I guess. But I live in a city and it's kind of loud. I would really like an air conditioning. And then she said, but also you're way up north. It doesn't get hot here. And I'm like, it gets to 100+ degrees. What are you talking about? People die in that temperature. Like, how dare you? Like, out of all the things that, like, I've been told, like, by real estate people, that is probably one of the most condescending and, like, rage-inducing. Is like, how dare you think that I'm that dumb as to not know how hot it gets in places? It filled me with rage. I couldn't, like, the look I gave her. I usually try and be a little more cool, but I was just like, how fucking dare you? I also bought a resin 3D printer for my birthday. Fuck yes. Oh my God, yes. I'm actually, I was just talking with the 3D printing guys at the space, and I eventually need to get in there and do it. But yeah, it's, that's another hobby that I can actually pick up because it's fairly quick to just, like, learn and then do. You can just say, machine, do the thing, and it does the thing. And I mostly just need it for, like, a couple of things here and there. That's what I really. But yeah, what are you printing thus far? Please do not print whistles and then send them to Minneapolis. We have enough. Dude. Oh my God, that would be fucking amazing. Let me learn. I mean, honestly, now I'm going to learn 3D modeling and then print those myself, but no, what I actually want to do is print the stickers that Rules made, and then make but with a different type of sticker. The bastard kind of stickers. It's still shipping. That's a good idea, Maple. Honestly, like, yeah, I think a group, I'd be willing to buy like a Blender, and I am absolutely learning Blender. I'd love to learn Blender, and I'm willing to pay for a course. So if I pay for a course, and we can just all hop on Discord and watch it that way. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm looking at bags right now. I gotta learn how to sew better. It's killing me. But I want to make lore accurate Percy Jackson necklace beads. Percy Jackson necklace beads. Oh, those are cool as fuck. Yeah, that's cool. The state has put a date on me. Standing in a row. This is the one of the song from Dawn of the Dead when they're like the 2001 or 2007, I can't remember when Dawn of the Dead came out, where they're basically like taking a mall bus and just up armoring it. So fucking cool. God, I love that movie so much. It hurts. Also, quick aside for Dawn of the Dead, if you haven't seen it, I would recommend looking up Anatomy of a Headshot. It's how they did headshots in Dawn of the Dead. And it's really just a really awesome look into like practical effects when it comes to like shooting someone in the head. And they do a bunch of different things that are just really fucking awesome. And you just know that somebody was in, you know, the workshop just having a blast making those. So instead of what's painted on there, it's supposed to be just the item that's painted. It's not a bead with a painting. So one is just a trident. The other one is the Empire State Building. One is the Golden Fleece. One is the labyrinth that Daedalus made. And I guess the last one that I saw was the SPQR is the Greek letters, the Roman whatever. Oh God, I don't want to be depressed right now. Oh God, I don't want to be depressed right now. YouTube, stop it. Why are you recommending all this shit? Jesus Christ. YouTube, are you okay? No, stop it. Cosplay stuff? Yeah, that'd be rad. The one thing that I really, really want to make is I'm buying a what is called a Baofeng radio. And Baofeng radios are actually modeled, like, they're changed slightly, but they're modeled in Cyberpunk, the game, as basically like the things that people wear on their arms. So I want to make a container for that to make it look more cyberpunkish. And then 3D print a gun from Cyberpunk, which I'm trying to figure out which one I would want. Probably the one. Let me see. See if I can find a list. Yeah, okay, here we go. Not the Unity, not Death and Taxes. Dying Knight, Genjiro. Not the M10. Here we go. Pariah. Yeah, the pariah is... Let me see if I can just copy this image without it being a pain in the ass. Wow! Too big. It's over now. What was it all for? So it's this one, but I'd want it to be in Trauma Team colors. So like the lower would probably be in like hunter green. The upper would be white. And then all the accessories would be red. I wish I still liked Percy Jackson as much as I used to. I tried to read them once, but yeah, once you get older with a lot of that stuff, you leave it behind. There's some that you go back and you're like, holy shit, this is better than I thought it was. It's funny, I've talked about this before, but the going back to I rewatch Black Hawk Down once a year. And this is a kind of exploratory thing for me. I don't recommend it for anyone else unless you're like into this sort of shit, but I rewatch it every year because it means something different every year. And let me tell you, every year it gets more comical and less fucking serious to the point where like it's just now like I don't even know how to describe it. It's so buck wild, y'all. And like it's propaganda. And it's bad. It's a bad movie. Like I watched it again from like a lot of different perspectives. It's a good action film, and that's about it. Oh, I'd want to do this with well, I don't know. I'd have to look into like, you know, how those things could be done. Because I would love for it to just be, I don't want to paint them because paint usually comes out looking pretty bad. And I'm not like an expert in, you know, painting things like that. Yeah, I'd much rather it be like a solid piece. But yeah, completely forgot what I was talking about. Yeah. But you keep on running away. Running away. Should I order pizza? I don't even want pizza, but I'm hungry, and all the food that I have at my house is not something that I want to ingest. I forgot about the... I have half of the tomato bisque that I made during my 2 surgery, and unfortunately, one half is in the fridge, the other half is in the freezer. The freezer one's still good. The other stuff, though, it's probably not so good. You and your smoothie. Happy with your daddy. The delivery around here is good, but I'll let myself get a little more hungry before I do. Tangerine. Money, 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 money. It's so funny how it changes how you feel, how you see. God, I have to start planning for the summer. for so many different fucking things, including just my own health. Because the hotter it gets, the like less healthy I typically am. But it's definitely time to go thrift shopping and get some more summer appropriate clothing. It is also, unfortunately, time to start running again, because cardio this summer is going to be fucking essential, I think. How expensive is the YMCA? I mostly just want access to a pool. 3, you got friends on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. You know what? I'll look at that later. I looked for... Oh, okay, that's why. Wait a minute. Is there billiards here? Is there pool? Oh, it's just one pool. Okay. I thought I found a pool hall here. I could probably find a pool hall here. Is there an online game? There's got to be an online pool game. That might be fun. I check and see your local university. It might have options to use their athletic centers too. Ah, true. True. Don't ping me. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as dust. And everywhere that Mary went, it said, "Play fetch you must." This is a song about Chuz's dog, Noodles. All right, let me actually post that I'm streaming, and then I'll start reading some SCP stuff. If anybody has any suggestions for what I should read, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick at random. Did Jezebel in? Somebody did a breakdown of this song, and I need to find it again because it's so fucking good. Ooh. It's medication time. It's time for medication. Brings with his Tims and his women. Gonna win when you rape right within. Come again. A win, come again. All right. Hacha! Okay, screen share time. Window capture. There we are. All right. Oh, also, I keep meaning to do this. I can go. Hold on. This is going to take a second. Sad. See you fly. Don't have to feel this emptiness. I love the VATS style blinking that this does. So what I'm doing right now is clicking on the meshes of the model, and it's blinking and telling me which ones are which so I can pin it to the right thing. There we go. That's what we wanted. Well, that's not doing it. There we go. Made pasta. I remember when that guy came in here and was like clearly like drunk or high or something and just wanted to harass somebody. And like apparently the line for him was when I said that I was making a maid outfit, and he got upset, and I was like, well, I'm kicking you before before you have a chance to say anything else. Goodbye. Let myself get down in the first place. All right, start at number 1 again. All right, take a look at this list. Is bow time not working? Try it now. There we go. Yeah, I was in a menu. That's why. Yeah, so pick something from the list. The first thing that I see, I will read. Tag yourself. Instant hole. Okay. Instant hole it is. Oh, I need some more appropriate reading music. Something that's not going to be too distracting. Let's do waltz. I think if the people who invented waltz music didn't make waltz music, they'd be weird little gremlins in the woods. No, I need more energy. I need more energy than this. This isn't working. What do I want? Let's summon Bren. Our dear friend Bren. All the way from Brazil. We say, oi, como vai, Bren? It's a bit loud, though. There we go. Oba, oba, oba. All right. Welcome to school, kids. It's time to learn about SCP, Secure, Contain, Protect. Sausage, cucumber, and pineapple. All right. And so we begin. Why Twitch being slow for me? What do you mean it being slow for you? Don't fucking tell me that. The bitrate seems okay. Is anybody else having problems? Are we good? So can you hear me at least? Can I start reading? Okay. Well, if there's any other problems, let me know. Okay. SCP-133. Object Class. Safe. Special Containment Procedures. I love that SCP is Secure, Contain, Protect, and then there's also Special Containment Procedures. What's wrong with what's wrong with sausage, pineapple, cucumber? It's a weird combo, but it's like not necessarily a bad one. I'd still eat the fucking pizza. The cucumber might make this pizza a bit, soggy, but whatever. All instances of SCP-133 are stored in their original shipping crates, which are to be stored within a standard safe class storage container at Site-19. Experimentation with 133 may only be performed with prior written permission from at least 2 Level 4 personnel. SCP-133 are a set of 613 black circular pieces of waxy paper-like material in 5 centimeter diameter. When placed against a solid surface and rubbed, SCP-133 will instantaneously transfer to the surface and create a circular hole. Testing has shown that SCP-133 is capable of penetrating up to 61 centimeters of structural grade steel, though the exact degree of penetration is reduced by extremely smooth or highly dense materials. Examination of holes created by 133 show that they are superficially smooth, but exhibit tool marks consisting with that of a fine boring implements at a microscopic level. The exact mechanism by which 133 operates is still under investigation. Visuals are a little blurry on my end, but that's likely a me thing. What about noodle arms? Let me know if the visuals are still blurry, and that's something I just need to look into. I don't have anything else running that would be, like, taking away from the performance. 133 came to the Foundation's attention following a string of high-profile burglaries in the city of Redacted. Suppressed surveillance footage and forensic evidence were brought to the attention of embedded Foundation agents in local law enforcement agencies, and upon attempting to apprehend the culprit, subject placed an instance of 133 over his chest and data expunged. He killed himself with a hole in his chest. Fuck. Local law enforcement officers redacted and redacted were administered Class A amnestics and were released. The original shipping crate in which SCP-133 was found has been shown to be immune to SCP-133's effects despite being composed of ordinary wood, and has been incorporated into the containment procedure for 133. 13301, shipping label found with SCP-133. Instant holes, a product of the factory, 800 units. So, okay. Acorns! We just finished reading SCP-133, otherwise known as Instant Hole. So the factory is going to come up later, because the factory is one of the SCPs that seems to create other SCPs, but we'll hit that eventually. Chak? It's just Cha. It's just Cha, just CH. All right, another. Ah! Another one. Pick. Choose. First one I see, I'm reading. Unless y'all, like, straight up can't read it. Can this cut? Can this push paper? Let's see. Ugh. Nope, this knife is not sharp enough. I mean, it is for what I use it for, which is bushcrafting and self-defense, but it still should be sharper. Okay. Somebody pick one for me to read. Do it. Variable coaster? All right. What number is that? One, two, two. Yeah, go eat. Ooh. The color changed. Classified level 1 out of 122. SCP-122, object class Thomule? That's a child. Special containment procedures. Oh, it's a fucking nightlight. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, the first fucking line of this is beautiful. Under no circumstances is SCP-122 to enter an unpowered state. No more monsters, and it's a nightlight. At least one redundant failsafe power system is to be installed in order to maintain power to the object in the event of power outages. Regular maintenance is also to be conducted on SCP-122 at the discretion of the head researcher in order to reduce flickering. A security camera is to be installed within the room that the anomaly is placed so as to regularly monitor the occurrence of flickering within the subject. Due to its utility and importance in assisting the psychological assistance efforts of Site-135, SCP-122 is to be used on a daily basis with SCP-122-1, currently Anna Tallinn, being given normal humanoid accommodations within SCP-122 containment cell at the discretion of the incumbent's head researcher. Should the current SCP-122-1 subject become unfit for use with the subject, a new SCP-122-1 subject must be procured as soon as possible. Holy shit, they have to have a child on site at all times. All y'all seem to be having separate problems. Stop it. Stop it. I can't fix all your problems. I can only fix one of all of your problems. So choose who has problems I'm going to fix. And I'll fix all of them, but only for one person. And so the prison experiment begins. Anyways, SCP-122 is a plastic nightlight in the shape of a star, thought to have been manufactured between 1960 and 1980. When in a powered state, SCP-122 has been reported to be able to exude a sense of calmness, comfort, and safety to those within a roughly 20-kilometer radius. As such, it has been known to alleviate symptoms of currently prevailing psychological conditions in subjects. Examples of these psychological conditions include psychological stress, paranoia, phobia, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. However, these alleviating effects are only present when 122 is within the same room as a child under the age of 14, who subscribes to the belief of traditional Abrahamic religions. This affirmation child subject, referred to henceforth as 122-1, is currently 7-year-old Anatolan, who was procured into the Foundation custody in 2017, when in SCP-122's containment cell, 122-1 has reported sighting of an angel in her dreams, hence referred to as 122-2. Refer to SCP-122 use records for further information regarding 122-2. (122-2) has also been reported as sometimes appearing within the dreams of personnel affected by 122. Based on reports, it has been associated with positive feelings such as that of security and relief. From this, it can be inferred that SCP-122-2 is related in some part to the aforementioned positive effects. Since the beginning of SCP-122's use in supplementing psychological assistance in efforts in Site-135, annual personnel turnover rates have been reduced by 90%. With annual personal suicide rates being reduced by 85% within Site-135, having recorded the highest instances of either statistic of all sites prior to use in 122. The subject has been integral to the continued operation of that site. Here are some records, excerpts of 122 use records. February 12th, 2017, positive effects of SCP-122 noted, electronic failsafe system implemented soon after. Name, SCP-122-1, Anatolan, 2 years old. Date of use, March 1st, 2017. That means that the first subject either aged out or died from the first one, or I guess maybe they just replaced it. But it's the SCP, so I'm going to assume the worst. No instance of flickering or dimming. 122-1 was noted to be sleeping without incident. Anatolan, 3 years old, April 28th, 2018. SCP-122-2 activity description. God said he'd give me a guardian angel, and he did. Last night there was a beautiful angel with wings, and he was just standing there, and he was looking at me. Besides the door, he did that all night. Incident notes, 1 instance of dimming. Anatolan, 5 years old, June 26, 2020. 122-2 activity description. I saw the angel again today. He was at the edge of my bed, and he was looking at me with the widest smile on his face. His wings were, stretch his arms out, this big. I never realized they were that big before. Incident notes, 2 instances of dimming, 1 instance of flickering. Anatolan, 7 years old. September 15th, 2022. He sat in front of me, just looking at me and watching me sleep. He looked like he wanted to hug me, and I wanted to hug him too. Incident notes, 4 instances of flickering. However, SCP-122's components have degraded in the time since its creation, with materials that could be used to replace them no longer being manufactured in the present. The degradation of SCP-122 vulnerable to fluctuations in its brightness, with flickering and dimming reported to be the most frequent fluctuations. Sorry, this degradation renders SCP-122 vulnerable to fluctuations in its brightness, with flickering and dimming being reported to the most frequent fluctuations. This causes SCP-122 to assume an unpowered state. When in an unpowered state, SCP-122 redacted. So I think this level here, the 4 out of 122, is... Ordinarily, you can just log in and see these. I guess... Oh, here they are. Okay. Okay, declassified SCP-122 use records, updated. We have a new SCP-122-1. The child's name is... Oh, no, these are the... Holy shit. Sorry, that I needed a second. SCP-122-1 name, Jana Marston. Age 6. February 12, 2017. SCP-122-2 activity description. Had a blackout. He got her on the first night. Incident notes. Jana Marston lost. Proposal for new SCP-122-1 subject made. Oh, God, we have images. Oh, that's cool. Okay. SCP-122-2, distance, undetected. Image of greatest activity. Is anybody seeing anything in this? I'm wondering if we're supposed to be seeing anything in this. It certainly is spooky. I'm not really seeing anything. In an unpowered state, it consumes the child. Yeah. So I'm wondering if that angel is not... Dark creepy room, that's what I get. We're probably going to see something scarier later. I'm wondering if the angel is the thing that's being kept away from the light. SCP-122, distance 6 meters. Image of greatest activity. Okay, so this looks like the... Is it this here that we're seeing? I'm seeing maybe some wings here. Here, let's go compare that to the previous one. Yep, there it is. Yeah, those wings don't have any feathers on them. God said he'd give me a guardian angel, and he did. All right. I saw an angel today. Okay, so fucking brace yourself. All right. Yeah, that's some skeletal shit. That's not... He wanted to hug me, and I wanted to hug him too. Well, there's that. So that's fun. Emergency alert. Site-wide blackout detected. Check SCP-122 status ASAP. Last image recovered from SCP-122 containment chamber. He tells me today. Is that it? Does he... Am I reading that right? He tells me today? Oh, he tells me to pray. He tells me to pray. Okay, so that angel wasn't... Oh, pray. Yeah, okay. Children who have shown to score at least an 8 out of 10 on the Anglo-Pontiff religious belief scale have been shown to display the best results for SCP-122-1 subjects. The reason for this specification are currently unknown, though the link may be established between the fact that and previous descriptions of SCP-122-2 as an angel. See SCP-122 records. As of now, the only younger personnel aged 20 to 25 have reported having sightings of 122-2. However, the sighting of SCP-122-2 within dreams of personnel do not show the progression of distance and positive feelings reported by 122-1. The reason for this is unknown. Cool. Nifty, neat, and awesome. All right, somebody else other than Cha, pick one. First one I see, I'm going to read. Portuguese is the most beautiful language in the fucking world. And I need to learn it. $145. Man-absorbing phone. Now, either this is a man who absorbs phones or a phone that absorbs mans. I assume it's the phone that absorbs men. Alcatel. All right. SCP-145. Object Class. Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-145 is to remain inside its room at all times in a 0.5 millimeter by 0.5 millimeter by 5 millimeter cubed plexiglass container unless being studied. Room is to be thoroughly soundproofed and locked when studies of SCP-145 are not in progress. Under no circumstances shall any personnel come into physical contact with SCP-145 without being accompanied and constantly observed by one or more other personnel, unless conducting testing with proper authorization. Any personnel showing signs of intense psychological trauma must be immediately escorted out of the containment area. Depending on the level of trauma of affected personnel, they may be required to submit to consultation within approved psychiatrists for no less than 2 weeks. SCP-145 appears to be a standard 2002 model cordless phone handset of the Alcatel brand on its standard issue charging base. The charging base appears defaced. All jack inputs are sealed with resin glue, and the power input to the device has been gouged out with an unknown sharp tool. Serial number and production dates are unavailable as all labels and stickers have been ripped off or defaced. The phone rings constantly, whether it's on the base or not, regardless of the lack of power source. Tests have shown the battery is removable. Disassembly of the base has not shown any effect on the hand unit. The hand unit itself has had all of the seams sealed, preventing conventional disassembly. When answered, a female voice speaks on the phone in a voice that shows a high level of stress. By the way, the seams sealed thing, the SCP Foundation is very keen on not destroying SCPs unless they really absolutely have to. They're also not keen on using SCPs unless they really absolutely have to. They're very, very resistant. There are other organizations out there that have no problem using them. There are organizations out there that do want them destroyed, but the SCP's outlook on it is basically, okay, so we destroy this thing that has some kind of property. What happens to that property when the thing holding it is destroyed? We can't risk that, and we can't test it, so we just contain them. Secure, contain, protect. When answered, a female voice speaks on the phone in a voice that shows high level of stress. Content warning, I don't know if this is going to get weird, but just content warning for... This is a rough site, y'all. Like, if you were having issues with anything like, violence, gore, harassment, sexual harassment, things like that, please mind yourself. It can be rough out here. The voice varies from conversation to conversation, but in all cases, the voice expresses extreme panic and proceeds to plead with the listener for assistance as she describes instances of torture conducted on an unknown victim. In the background, the listener will hear the sounds of violence, expressions of pain, and anguish. Audio analysis has so far indicated at least redacted individual voices over disparate calls. The method of torture implied thus far, judging from the phrases, reactions of those speaking at the time of contact, have included branding, electrocution, laceration, sexual assault, data expunged, and dismemberment. The callers appear to be non-automated and entirely sentient. Attempts to trace down the call or track down the location of the tortured callers have proven unsuccessful thus far. Attempts to block the signal of the phone with the use of a Faraday cage have also been unsuccessful. Research is conducted in teams of at least 3, 1 D-Class staff, 1 Class 2 out of 145 audio technician, and 1 Class 3 security staff, with only Class D staff permitted to have direct auditory contact with SCP-145's transmissions. Testing has shown that in 100% of cases, a subject answering SCP-145 without live supervision will vanish without any indication of transportation methods. Okay, so they disappear if they're not being looked at. Video recording devices do not show the method of transportation. The subject will be present in one frame and absent in the next. In cases of disappearance, the phone will simply fall to the floor. The phone does not appear to have sustained any damage from any of these falls thus far. Subsequent communication with the object has revealed that vanished subjects join the group of tortured victims. Fuck me running. Testing log. Testing procedures. All tests will be conducted with D-Class personnel. Any issued equipment for the test must be recorded in the log. The D-Class personnel will then be ordered to pick up the phone after the disappearance of the initial test subject. The above standard research team will answer the phone and record any observations. Sorry, I just want to get that. I just want to read that clearly. So, wait. All tests will be conducted with the D-Class personnel. Any issued equipment for the test must be recorded in the log. The D-Class personnel. Okay. After the disappearance of the initial test subject, the above standard research team will answer the phone and record any observations. Testing 145A, date redacted, subject D1453749. Issued 1 GPS locator device. Testing to attempt to ascertain the location of described at the other end of the line. Result: GPS rendered non-functional after disappearance of D-Class personnel. On following interaction with SCP-145, audio technicians identified the voice of D1453749 has joined other victims. Ugh. Acorns, go eat. Acorns, I'm hungry and I haven't eaten yet. And if you don't eat, I won't eat. So go eat. And drink some water. Okay. Testing 145B. Date redacted. Subject D1454751. Issued 1 GPS locator, 1 standard issue military combat knife, second attempt to ascertain the location described at the other end of the line, self-defense option provided to subject. GPS rendered non-functional after disappearance of D-Class personnel. On following interaction with SCP-145, female voice indicates continued stress and states, "Oh God, he's cutting him off. He's cutting off, data expunged." Audio technician then identifies the voice of D1454751 has joined other victims. Now, you see, here's the problem with 4751 is that it's a skill issue. If I were to answer that phone and be given a knife, I'd be able to take what's on the other end. You know, I'd be able to fight my way out. That's not a problem. I'd be able to fight my way out, free the other prisoners. You know. Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem. I could do it. Hey, Lariska! This is my favorite Brazilian song ever. I love this song so much. Oh, I could have gone longer. I once replayed this song like maybe 15 or 20 times while driving in the car, and I can whistle to this whole song, like all of the notes. And I just kept doing that over and over again to the point where the last time I played the song, I had to stop it. Yeah. Because my jaw was starting to hurt. All right. So the previous test subject lacked skill issue, and now we're trying to supplement that skill issue with more tools for liberation. So testing 145-C, date redacted. Subject D145-5319 issued 1 9mm semi-automatic pistol, 1 Kevlar vest. Subject is compelled to pick up phone. Attempt to determine interactivity of location. Determine if any self-defense method is possible. On following interaction with SCP-145, gunshots are heard. Then data expunged. Female voice resumes, states, data expunged, and additional gunshots are heard. Audio technician identifies D145-5319 exclamations of pain after each gunshot. Lariska, go clean it. Do it. Get in your garage. And send me something. Send me something from your garage. I don't care what it is, just anything. It could be a dead bug. Just send me something from your garage. I could use a couch, though. If anybody wants to send me a couch. I need a couch. It's really hard to have, to have somebody over to your house and have sex with them without a couch. Because it's weird, because you eventually just move to the bed. But if you don't start with a couch, it's kind of like... It's hard. Okay. So thus far, any self-defense methods have not worked thus far. Test 145-D, date redacted. Subject D145-6842 issued 1 kilogram C4 explosive concealed in a supply kit. Explosive attached to a remote trigger within 30-second delay. Triggered before interaction with SCP-145. Attempt to determine any possible level of interaction or destruction of location. Result: data expunge. Resulted in redacted Foundation personnel missing, including Dr. Redacted, and all researchers associated with data expunged. Breaches of SCP security at site redacted. Further testing this nature suspended this time. Note: I don't know who thought this method might be a good idea. I know sometimes we let sympathy get the better of us, but this attempt to bring relief to SCP-145's victims just cost the Foundation a lot of money and resources. Oh, Jesus, Lariska. You're going to have to whisper me your name on Discord, and then I will get you... Unless somebody has Lariska on their friends list in Discord and can invite them to the Discord. You're a subscriber, right? Why am I not following you? That's weird. How the fuck do I just send... I don't want to... why is it... How do I invite people who aren't friends? Here, hold on. Check. Where? Check your disc. Why won't it let me send? I'm trying to send you a whisper right now, and it won't let me. Nope. All right. Well, won't let me send you something, so I'll have to figure it out later. Remind me, and I'll do it. Also, would y'all be deers? And if you're on Blue Sky, retweet that for me. Thank you so much. I constantly forget how to use mine properly and fuck up new channels with the wrong... Oh, you got it? Okay, cool. All right, new. All right. Pick one. Somebody pick one. Pick one and I will read it. Ugh. Ugh. This Brazilian lady sounds very sad. I could fix her. To microwave? All right. What number was that? Yeah, tell me the number. Shit. Also, you know what? Give me a second. I'm going to switch to a different browser. I use Firefox specifically for no, I saw it too. You're good. Okay. 1 second. There we go. All right. So we go to number 1. Oh, I know, Cha. Yeah. No, that was intentional. You said 119 to microwave. Time microwave. All right. Found it. SCP-119. Object class, Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-119 is to remain open and unplugged at all times except during testing. The door to the room in which SCP-119 resides is to be locked for all periods except during experimentation, with the entry codes given only to authorized research and security personnel. An industrial-grade disinfectant will be available nearby at all times. The inside of SCP-119 is to be heavily disinfected before any testing. The contents of SCP-119 are to be monitored through the viewing window on SCP-119 at all times during testing, and will be stopped immediately should the contents become hostile or otherwise damaging to SCP-119. I already love this. This is the good shit. This is the best stuff in SCP, is like the mundane bullshit. Like, just the small stuff. Like, don't give me world-ending gods and stuff. Give me a microwave that's kind of fucked up. Description. SCP-119 is a Panasonic redacted microwave oven. It was initially discovered by an agent who had brought it from a liquidation sale of the assets from Redacted Valley Vineyards. It is believed that Redacted Valley Vineyards was using the anomalous properties of SCP-119 to rapidly age its products and create expensive vintages. Smart. Records show Redacted Valley Vineyards making under-the-table sales of vintages dating back as far as 19 Redacted, many years before the company's inception in 2005. These sales are what led to the lawsuits accusing the company of falsifying product information and other forms of fraud, which eventually caused Redacted Valley Vineyards to declare bankruptcy. SCP-119 appears to be a standard model of microwave in all respects except for the magnetron unit does not produce microwave radiation. Instead, the magnetron emits a previously unknown type of radiation that accelerates time. They're tachyons. Pasta is under the article, which is unacceptable. Pasta is the article. He will always be the article. I'm eventually going to have to make this maid outfit for me. All right. Where was I? The amount of time accelerated is based on the time input given at the start. At the power level setting, the time input allows for 3 digits. There are 5 power level settings. There are 5 power level settings. On power level 1, the number of seconds input equals the number of seconds experienced within the microwave. Therefore, an input of 30 seconds would cause the microwave to run for 30 seconds, at the end of which the object will have aged 30 seconds. Each subsequent power level past 1 causes an exponential increase of the acceleration of time. Okay, I was about to say, like, if it runs... Okay, so it runs for 30 seconds, it ages for 30 seconds. Yes, correct. But it's after level 1, so it functions as a normal microwave without the microwave part. At power level 2, with an input of 30 seconds, the microwave will run for 30 seconds, and the contents will have aged 900 seconds, 15 minutes, or 30 times 30 seconds. At power level 5, with an input of 999 seconds, the microwave will run for 999 seconds, and the contents will have aged... Sorry, so that's... Oh, God, I'm so bad at reading these. So 31 million years. 995 trillion, 9 billion, 999 million, 4,999 seconds. Oh, God, yeah, the fucking beach that makes you old meme. You know, I first read the beach that makes you old thing as a D&D setting where, like, your characters are, they don't realize that they're aging the longer they stay there. But, like, I was just like, wow, that's actually a pretty good idea where, like, you have your characters, this thing happens to them while they don't know. But yeah. Okay. SCP-119 can be dismantled, and replacement parts can be substituted for every component except the magnetron. When replacing the magnetron in another microwave, including duplicates of the same model, the magnetron continues to exhibit time acceleration. However, replicating the effects of anything else above level 2 have failed in every other model except for the original microwave in which the magnetron was found. Although SCP-119, like all standard microwave models, will normally only function when the door is closed. During deconstruction, it was determined that disabling the closing mechanism allows the device to work while open. The subsequent testing determined that the radiation emitted from 119 has a fallout pattern very similar to the microwave radiation it replaced. However, further experiments operating 119 while open now require approval of clearance level 4 personnel. Addendum. After subsequent testing, it has been determined that the accelerated time experience within SCP-119 is not accelerated from the perspective of those being affected, instead causing the occupants to perceive that they are simply staying inside of the microwave for the adjusted duration. Should living creatures be exposed to SCP-119 for extended durations, they could quite quickly die of starvation, as they will require as much sleep and food as they would in the outside of SCP-119. Therefore, further experimentation with living beings now require the approval of Class 4 personnel. Clearance level 4 personnel. Well, I suddenly have like 4 DMs from you that came through all at once. Their messaging system is so shit. Wild. Well, I sent you a couple that were like spaced out because I figured maybe they were just blocking links. I don't know, whatever. Furthermore, due to the possibility of microorganisms undergoing accelerated evolution within SCP-119, industrial-grade disinfectant has now been added to the container for SCP-119. Very smart. All right, so we got some test logs for 119. Test log SCP-119. Contents. Cup of lukewarm water. Time input 67, power level 1. Agent's attempt to reheat his coffee. Microwave activated and ran for 1 minute. Coffee was still cool upon a removal. Go lie down. Good night. Contents. Cup of lukewarm coffee. 60 seconds. Power level 4. Agent increased the power level, assuming the first setting was too weak. Microwave activated and ran for 1 minute. Upon opening the door, Agent discovered his coffee had grown a thick layer of mold and scum, consistent with the amount that would be expected from leaving the cup of coffee out for 5 months. At this point, the agent brought the microwave to the attention of the Foundation. That's fucking lucky. If the agent, just found this, the agent just found this accidentally. Contents, stopwatch, 30 seconds. Power level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. A series of tests conducted to determine the effects of various power levels on time fluctuation, resulting time on stopwatch was 30 seconds, 15 minutes, 7 hours and 30 minutes, and 99 hours, 99 minutes, 59 seconds. I'm so bad at reading those fucking numbers. Ugh. There was no result for the last test as the battery had died. Subsequent test using a more powerful stopwatch with a larger display resulted in 9 days, 9 hours, and 281 days, 6 hours for the last 2 settings. Rattus Norvicus? Rattus Norvecius? Somebody pronounce that for me, Jesus Christ. Common lab rat. Norvegicus. Norvegicus? Ugh. Norwaicus. Okay, because Norway. Got it. Time input 60 seconds, power level 4. Testing had expected the subject to age 5 months. Upon starting the timer, the subject became a blur, barely visible in its rapid movement around the container. At 3 seconds, subject ceased all movement. At 5, the subject began rotting rapidly. Testing was halted at 10 seconds, and SCP-119 is cleaned of excrement and remains of subject. Cause of death was determined to be dehydration. Fucking monsters. Contents. Common lab rat, small cage lined with external automatic food water dispenser filled with 5 months of food, water, and attached tubes routed through air vent. Time, 60 seconds. Power level 4. Upon starting the timer, subject became a blur, rapidly moving throughout its cage. Both the food and water supplies drained from their containers rapidly. At 60 seconds, subject was found to be dirty due to its unclean cage, but otherwise fine. SCP-119 cleaned. Examination revealed subject to be in poor health due to living in conditions in the unclean cage, but with no abnormalities. God, these guys are fucking monsters. Contents: 1 liter of water in a shallow glass bowl. Temperature in room containing SCP-119 lowered to 1 degree Celsius. Time input, 600 seconds. Right? It just says 600, but I assume seconds. Okay, it doesn't matter because it's the power level that determines how long it actually is. 600 seconds at power level 5. Time inside SCP-119 intended to be approximately 24.7 years, with an initial input of 60 seconds. Test intended to determine the difference of atmosphere and heat transfer between the inside and outside of SCP-119, as demonstrated by the evaporation of water at near-freezing temperatures. The research assistant entering the time added an extra 0, which would bring the total time up to 2,465,753 years, or over 4,000 years a second. Upon pressing start, an immense amount of air began to cycle through the vent. The assistant immediately recognized his mistake, opened the door to stop the timer, at which point a wave of bluish spores emitted from SCP-119 and onto the assistant. The assistant began to choke quickly and asphyxiated. Subsequent testing on atmospheric conditions revealed a low oxygen, high carbon dioxide levels, as well as elevated levels of sulfur. The spores were found to be an unknown xerophilic species of mold. Within SCP-119 was a dense ecosystem of molds and tardigrades, water bears, along with numerous other unknown species, some of which do not neatly fit within existing categories. The entire ecosystem has created a balanced atmosphere and seems to have stemmed from the original contents of the water, air, and the assistant. Brutal. In light of this test, containment procedures have been updated to include industrial disinfectant. Contents, none. Doors removed from microwave for duration of this experience. SCP-119, this seems like a really dumb idea, guys. SCP-119 placed in middle of large Faraday cage room with freshly painted floor, using paint that changes colors as it dries. Time input, 30 seconds. Power level, 3. SCP remotely activated and all testing observed remotely. Resultant paint pattern demonstrates the fall-off of radiation from the microwave. The paint closest to the front of the door demonstrating 8 hours of drying. The furthest section from the floor of the microwave demonstrated 2 hours of drying. Contents, none. Doors removed from microwave for the duration of this experiment. 119 is placed in the middle of a large Faraday cage room with dried paint. Lightweight floating debris and dust is released into the room through a vent. Time input, 30 seconds. Power level, 3. Test result. 119 is remotely activated and all testing observed remotely. A pattern of complex air currents reflecting the pattern left by the paint emerges as individual particles float between stronger and weaker radiation. The radiation did not actually apply any force to the particles, but rather affected their momentum in relation to each other, eventually evolving into a detectable air current pattern. This is really smart. Whoever wrote this was really fucking thinking about this. Y'all should drink some water. It's good for you. But you know what's better for you than just water? Liquid death. Kill your thirst. And your family. No, don't do that. Just your thirst. Oh, we're starting to put SCPs in there. You dumb motherfuckers. All right, so we're putting in SCP-442. I don't know what... Okay, SCP-442 is a gold-plated pocket watch, 3 centimeters in diameter with hands showing the hour and minute along the edge, blah, blah, blah. As long as SCP-442 is wound, it will set itself to the correct time. Crossing time zones or winding SCP-442 while it displays an incorrect time results in SCP-442 making rapid motions to adjust itself. The owner of 442 is granted intrinsic knowledge of the time and can recite it the precise time to an arbitrary precision, as long as 442 is on his or her person. Okay, I'm sure there's more to it, but we know it. Hey, I'm drinking lemonade that I made myself. Nice for lemonade concentrate. That's fine. Nice. SCP-442, time input 90, power level 5. SCP-442 continues to keep the correct time during the entire duration, showing 1 minute and 30 seconds of time passing over the course of the experiment. Okay, very basic. Now, let's see what SCP-289 is. Currently located at Site 17 under the supervision of Dr. Redacted, 289 is suspended in a 10 by 10 centimeter platform in the exact center of a 5 by 5 by 5 meter concrete room. It is to be monitored at all times by no fewer than 2 mounted cameras. Okay, blah, 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 description. Regularly shaped mass of hematite, with analysis showing trace of aluminum, phosphorus, and water. 289 has the unique property of intensifying the effects of inertia over objects in a 1 point... Okay, so it can affect the inertia of objects in a 1.6 meter radius over time. Objects that remain immobile will become more and more difficult to move, while objects maintaining a constant speed will become very difficult to stop. At best estimate, close proximity to SCP-289 increases an object's inertia by 70% every 160 seconds, with a slightly slower reduction of inertia over time to base levels after being removed from 289's active radius. Okay, cool. So, SCP-289, time input, 90 seconds, power level 5, test results, none. Permission to carry out experiment denied. Not funny. Do we really need to explain why this is a bad idea? You know exactly what that would do. Yeah, horrible fucking idea to turn the inertia increasing machine on and then accelerate the time that it takes to accelerate things. I'm assuming that would just destroy everything. Okay, now here's the good one. I like this a lot. Contents: bottle of Macallan 12-year Scotch. Time input 60 seconds. Power level 5. During previous tests, researchers had been joking that they should nuke themselves a drink. And one researcher retrieved a bottle of Macallan from his quarters. The 12-year vintage is relatively inexpensive to obtain, but the 25 and 30-year vintages are considered by some to be the best Scotch commercially available. Upon completion of test, bottle was effectively a 37-year vintage. Intention of tests had been to consume during subsequent tests, but at this point, the intent had been heard by a superior who allowed the researchers to keep the bottle as long as they waited until off-duty to consume it. Well, yeah, duh. Subsequent testing determined that the results of this experiment were delicious, Dr. Grant. It would seem Dr. Grant is a rather poor whiskey connoisseur, as whiskey does not age outside of the barrel. Your delicious experiment resulted in a 37-year-old bottle of 12-year-old aged Scotch. Well done, Dr. Darrell. I stand by my initial assessment. Delicious, Dr. Grant. Fuck, that's really good. Ugh. Hey, what's new? What's hot? What's happening? What's mupping? All right. I want you all to pick one. I will be right back. But somebody pick one and tell me the number. what's up? I'm drinking, doing some Hadesing. Nice. The Midas Owl. Yes, the Midas Owl. All right. How am I not following you? That's so weird. Whoa, hey, Possibility. Thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Ooze the Muse. Pasta, you are just the hottest viewer I've got this far. I mean, damn. Bitch. Ugh. Well, you're following me. I wasn't following you, though. Also, I just gave you a subscription because I don't like the fact that you don't have a subscription with me. And so now you have one. Enjoy. Oh, that's fine. All right, here we go. SCP item number 391. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-391 is to be kept in a 5 by 5 by 5 meter aviary made of heavy steel mesh. Structures mimicking mixed broadleaf deciduous and pine forests should be placed inside the aviary. Artificial lights mimicking normal day and night patterns are to be kept well maintained. Temperature and humidity should be controlled to mimic a humid continental climate. Human continental climate? That doesn't make sense. Anyways, the door to the aviary is to be locked at all times when SCP-391 is not being studied, maintained, or fed. Personnel exiting the aviary are to be searched for objects removed from the aviary. Personnel attempting to remove material from the aviary without permission will be reprimanded. I assume, I'm just going to take a guess and say that this bird, this owl, the owl pellets are gold. SCP-391 is a single female specimen of Tyto alba alba, or common barn owl. Pellets regurgitated from SCP-391 are typically comprised of some form of precious metal. Nailed it. The metal produced seems to vary with the type of prey ingested. The owl, nicknamed Midas, has been documented regurgitating gold, silver, platinum, and other precious metals. Refer to the SCP-391 test logs for more information. 391 was acquired in 20 Redacted after Park Ranger Redacted reported finding nuggets of gold resembling owl pellets. The Foundation found the report during a routine information sweep. All owls in a 50-kilometer radius were tranquilized and captured under the guise of a tagging and tracking experiment. Agents examined and released over redacted owls before SCP-391 was found. After several examinations by Foundation veterinarians, no anomalies have been found within SCP-391. Other than its unusual ability, SCP-391 is normal, adult member of its species. Due to repeated contact with researcher Dr. Redacted and Dr. Redacted, SCP-391 has become accustomed to some human contact. However, 391 is still a wild animal and should be treated with caution and respect. Note, Dr. Redacted requested permission to breed 391 to see whether the trait would be passed to its young. Requested pending approval from the site director. 391 experiment log. These experiments were carried out after 391 was kept on a restricted diet of boneless, skinless chicken for a week. Researchers also withheld food for 12 hours prior to testing. Name, Dr. Redacted. Date, Redacted 20 Redacted. Item, 1 320-gram white rat. Reaction, 391 excitedly kill and ate the rat. Output, 63-gram indium pellet. Note, what was remarkable is the size of the pellet. It was the same size as a pellet from a normal owl. Therefore, it couldn't have been more than 10 grams of indigestible material on the rat. But the pellet weighed the correct weight for the piece of indium of that size. It seems that whatever is facilitating the change in the matter doesn't adhere to the law of conservation of mass. Dr. Redacted, date redacted. Item, 1 320-gram black rat. Same as the white rat. Reaction, same as the white rat. Output, same as the white rat. 391 was placed in an enclosed system where all mass and energy input was carefully measured and showed a gradual increase in mass about 2 hours after ingestion. No energy or mass change in the system could account for this increase. It seems the color is not important to the reaction. The pellets produced, however, can't yet be explained without violating the basic laws of physics. All the same as previous, 320-gram rat, same as previous tests. Note, the rat used in the test was radio labeled, and the digestive process was observed with specialized equipment. The meat of the rat was separate from the fur and bones, and digested as one would expect in a regular owl. The extra mass in the pellet is not coming from the ingested material itself. What the hell is this? Oh. Still the same album. Where was I? There we go. Boop. There we go. Cool. A neat owl. Choose. Choose the next one. Somebody. Somebody who hasn't chose before. Unless you're busy, which is fine. But somebody pick one. We've already read The Plague Doctor. Ooh. No, don't choose. Everyone shut up. It's my turn. I know which one I want. I just need to find it. Three, four, five, six is what we're looking for. So this is called the Orcadian Horse. This is one of my favorites. Honestly, I almost wrote a D&D game based exclusively around these things, but it's very difficult to do. And especially very hard to find someone, let alone 4 people, who want to play in a World War I TTRPG that also has elements of like Eldritch Horror. Not a whole lot of people out there that I know, at least, barking for that. So, item number SCP-3456. Object class Keter. Special containment procedures. 3456 is currently uncontained. All attempts to contain or neutralize it have failed. Research into methods for containment is ongoing. Personnel who observe the entity are to be treated with Class G amnestics and must be located within at least one freshwater stream, river, or lake within 1 kilometer of the treatment facility. Do I want to hear about your fucked up breakfast at 1 p.m.? I mean, now? Sure. You need to write it like an SCP article, though. Write it like an SCP article, and I'll read it. I mean, I'll read it anyways. It's fine. You can type out whatever. It's fine. It's the chat. Just don't ask me. Just type it. But yeah, write it up like an SCP thing, and I'll read it. Or I'll read it anyways. Doesn't matter. All historical references to SCP-3456 are to be removed and or attributed to myth, shell shock, PTSD, and hysteria. God, blame it on the mentally ill. That kind of sucks, but I also get why they're doing it. Bean and cheese burrito with coffee. My tummy's about to be so cooked. Drink some water and your tummy won't be cooked. Whoop. Sorry, 1 second. Need different music. Not this music. This music makes me sad. not a plastic bottle like made. Okay. There, this is SCP music. Why not? No, not for this one, though. Fuck, I need different music. Not that. This? All right, we're going to try Holy Terror, 3 hours of beautiful choir and piano music for reading, painting, and sleeping. There, that's fucking creepy enough. Let's do that. Okay. Where was I? Reports regarding loss of life and damage as a result of SCP-3456 incidents should be scrubbed of all references to the anomaly and replaced with narratives involving military conflict, natural or man-made disasters. Regions in which SCP-3456 are likely to appear are to be monitored regularly. Personnel are to be deployed to aid evacuation efforts in the event of an incident. Direct observation of SCP-3456 should be avoided. I am beautiful today. Thank you, Acorns. You like my outfit? I made it. I still need to make the tactical pasta, and then the tactical made pasta, and the tactical Catboy made pasta, but there's time for that. SCP-3456 are a group of quadrupeds resembling horses and other equines. Individual instances deviate significantly from other equines, particularly due to the lack of hair, presence of three-toed hooves, thick translucent skin, and either single or multiple human torsos fused to its back, in addition to the normal equine head attached to the horse's body. So, let's take a look at this shit. This is the Orcadian horse. There's the person. Here's the horse. They are one. And this poor fucker is, well, redacted. We'll get to that. Each torso has a pair of arms and a head attached, where the arm span reaches twice the height of the entity itself, and end in 5 sharpened protruding bone digits in place of human fingers. In most instances, SCP-3456 possesses a hole where the human nose is normally located, and is capable of emitting high-pitched screams up to 110 decibels in intensity. The size of each SCP-3456 instance varies, with the largest recorded manifestation reaching 30 meters in height and 15 meters in length. What is that in feet? Jesus Christ, 98 feet? That's fucking huge. How do you contain something like that? Instances materialize... Oh, sorry. SCP-3456 instances thus far have proven to be impervious to conventional weapons. Instances materialize near the sites of war, terrorist attacks, and natural disasters. Multiple manifestations may occur depending on the scale of the event, as indicated by the entity's materialization during numerous historical events throughout the 19th, 20th, and 21st centuries. 3456 instances display high levels of adaptive intelligence during incidents, often engineering situations to trap or torture their targets. Due to this, it is currently theorized that 3456 may be sapient. That is incorrect. Sapient is when you show instances of sapienness. So basically like a monkey, an ape, a human, like anything that's sapient, that's sapient. Sentience is different. I guess maybe sapient in that they're making tools, but tools are not exclusive to sapiens. Direct observation of SCP-3456 by an individual will result in the entity becoming aware of the observer, at which point it will display directional awareness of said individuals at all times. 3456 manifestations are known to engage in predatory and stalking behaviors, utilizing the environment to conceal and camouflage themselves. Survivors of such behavior report that the entity will manipulate and follow its targets, pursuing them well beyond the site of initial manifestation. See incident log I-3456-032. 3456 will continue such behaviors, deliberately exposing itself to as many individuals as possible until it has captured a large number of individuals, at which point it will dematerialize. What happens to subjects taken by 3456 is currently not known. 3456 should 3456 be incapable of collecting a sufficient number of subjects, it will continually materialize near individuals who have observed it before until it is able to capture them. 3456 is either unwilling to cross or incapable of crossing fresh bodies of water. This was initially discovered by the Foundation plants within Basra, Iraq during Operation Iraqi Freedom. Foundation agents were forced into rapid retreat across the Tigris River by 3456 manifestations, at which time they discovered that the instances either could not or would not set foot on the bridge. How and why 3456 is unable to cross such geographic boundaries is currently unknown. Attempting access detected. Enter credentials. Credentials recognized. Level 5 clearance granted. All right. So here's where we get to the real good shit. Oh my god. Seriously, I'm obsessed with this one. I love Orcadian Horsemen. The following section contains journal entries from Dave Harkland, an infantry in the British Expeditionary Force during World War I. This journal describes several SCP-3456 sightings over the course of the Battle of the Somme, which was a great time for everyone, by the way. The Somme was a fucking party. Everyone loved being there. And it was really a meaningful battle, too. June 17th, 1916. Finally, I arrived at the front. Picked up this little journal while I was in Paris. Figured I might as well keep record of my heroics on the battlefield. Quite chuffed to finally be in action, though it seems I'm the only one. Most of these blokes have been fighting for a couple of months now. They look downright dreadful. Mud all over the uniform, and their faces are so pale. Looks like they haven't eaten or slept for months. Commanding officer is rather shit-hot for battle. It's quite admirable. July 2nd, 1916. Woke up in the early hours of the morning. Ground was shaking. Damn near shook me out into the muck onto the dugout floor. Poor blokes in the bunks on the other side looked like they had seen a ghoul. Pair of Northern Irish lads from Kitchener's armies, if I remember right, kept muttering about Nuckati? Must be some Mick thing. We're both gripping a gold crucifix. Was about to lay my head back down and get a wink of shut-eye when I ended up scrambling into the mud. Loudest damn thing I ever heard. Thought it was Hun artillery about to mark us with some whiz-bangs. Only problem was, never did get the bang. The next morning I asked This morning I asked our brass hat about the artillery barrage. Gave me a funny look and asked what the bloody hell I was talking about. A ghoul. And what do you call this? A casket. A skeleton. July 2nd, 1916. We went looking for the dud that must have come down last night. Didn't find it. Found something even the Amen Wallah couldn't explain. British military slang for chaplain. The Amen Wallah. Probably can't explain. Strangest looking crater I've ever seen. It was shaped like a giant hoof. July 3rd, 1916. Huns made a push today. First time they moved in our region. First time I've ever seen combat. It's not romantic and adventurous. It's terrifying and deadly. My hands can't stop shaking. I already messed up the shit once. British slang for paper. The Huns had our outfit up against the wall, damn near overrun us. Didn't help that it rained the night before, making our foxhole filled to the brim with muck. One of the Fritz came right at me. I put one right between his eyes. Fell right at the edge of the trench. I had to look him in the eyes. Poor lad couldn't have been more than 17, 18. Martin, one of those Irish lads, is gone. Was unlike anything I had ever seen. One moment he was standing shooting at the Huns, and all of a sudden the mud started boiling. Before anyone could react, mud flies everywhere, and everyone else is suddenly knocked down off their feet. I look up, the wanker's gone. Wasn't even body parts left. Haven't told anyone, but I'd swear that there was bones coming out from underneath him right before the mud went flying. His mate, Brendan, was digging in the muck for hours looking for the crucifix. July 14th and 15th, 1916. Huns tried to push this morning in the rain. I was in the machine gun nest with Brendan, the other Irish chap in my unit. They kept coming and coming, getting stuck in the mud, and I just kept shooting. Sun is rising. I'm on watch till 8. At least that's what Brass Hat said. I've started losing track of how much time has been passing. There's something out there. Something lurking in the mud and dead Huns. Nearly dozed off last night, listening to the moans of the blighty wounded stuck out in no man's land. Poor bastards got left behind. Saw something out of the edge of my vision, something big. Couldn't quite make it out. It was much darker than usual. Overcast sky was obscuring the full moon. Heard a couple of screams, but whatever it was gone before my flare hit the sky. World War I was underused fiction. I agree, but like, how do you make something more horrifying than what happened? World War I was such raw terror that anything that you add to it underscores just how bad it is. Undersells just how bad it was. Like, we still don't, like, it's hard. It's one of those things that's really hard for humans to wrap their mind around, just how many people died, just how long people were fighting, the conditions that they were fighting in, the reasons that they were fighting. Like, it is eldritch in its own right. Every time that World War I comes up in a fiction, I get very excited, but like, what actually happened. Ugh. Also, we're not going to talk about this series, but there was a movie that involved the taming of certain magical beasts. And in it, the main character mentioned having fought in World War II or World War I with a dragon-like brigade. And I'm so pissed that I'm never going to get a dragon dogfighting game. Because holy shit, I would love that. We're still digging up live artillery shells from the First World War. Yep. We're still dying from the first live artillery shells from the First World War. That's right, the casualties of the First World War are still being had today. What a horrible fucking waste. All war is a waste. Don't do war, kids. July 30th, 1916. I've been seeing them at the edge of my vision ever since that first night. They're huge, but they move so damn fast. And they're gone before I can get a clear look. Or at least, that's how it was mucking out until today. Thick fog and mist rolled in this morning, blanketing everything. We figured the Huns might use it to launch another push. Bastards have been pushing non-stop since the 20th. Saw it. Through the fog. Looked like a shadow, hiding in the mist. Some sort of horse-like creature with something dragging along the ground. A giant lump where the rider would sit. Except the lump started moving. Could have sworn it was a person. Or something that looked like a person. Sat up, and the things dragging along the ground reached out in front of it, picked up something. Looked like a couple of dead Jerrys until they started squirming. I'll never forget the noise it made. Louder than a banshee. Shrill and twisted. It looked right at me, 2 pairs of red glowing orbs. Yeah, World War II general, like, sweating and heaving, double over, just one more foot, just one more yard, just one, I swear to God, we can win this, just give me one more yard of land. It's just a couple hundred more guys, it's fine, just one more, please. August 5th. Brendan calls them Nookaleevies. Won't tell me much more than that. Beginning to understand why all these blokes looked so terrified when I first arrived. August 13th. Bloody hell. Bloody hell, they're nightmares. Been on watch 2 nights in a row. One just appeared right there, right in front of me, 20 feet. Had to be at least 20 feet away. Towered in the sky. Got my flare to go off in time to see it pick up a couple of wounded Jerrys in the mud. They don't have bloody skin. There's just muscle and fat. The thing on its back, it wasn't human. No way it could be human. Had no skin either, no legs. Just merged straight into the horse at the stomach. I took a couple shots at it with my rifle. It did absolutely nothing. Like I was shooting it with a slingshot. It stopped soon as my flare reached the highest point and turned. Looked straight down at me, both the horse and the thing on its back. It smiled. August 17th, 1916. Been assigned night watch for the past 4 nights straight. Tried to tell the brass hat about the Nookaleevies. Didn't believe me. Said it was the shell shock playing with my head. Had to put a sock in it and keep on. It keeps coming back every night. Same spot. 20 feet in front of me. Picks up wounded Jerrys and turns and looks. Then it's gone. It's playing with me, I'm sure of it. Last night there was another one too. 4 of those things on its back. Did the same damn thing. I don't care if the messages were deleted. Don't bring that shit in here. Horrified thought I just had. What if someone hears me listening to Pasta out loud and thinks I'm listening to some erotic... Why would they think that this is an erotic book? Lariska, I'm just fucking with you. You're fine. I just had to do it for the gram. Lariska, come back. I'm sorry, Lariska. I would offer to say it, but I'm not gonna fucking say it. I don't give a shit. Don't say sorry. You're fine. Wait, Acorns is listening to this out loud. Dicks, lots of dicks. Dicks and vaginas, boobs. Margaret Thatcher. (7 a.m., August 20th, 1916. Jerry's made a big push yesterday. Rained 2 days ago, all day, so the muck was deep. We were on the machine gun again in the pillbox. So many of them in no man's land last night. Couldn't tell the dead from the living. Haven't slept in 6 days. There were 5 tonight. 3 of them had more than one of those things on their back. The one that keeps coming back dropped something. Saw it shine in the flare light. 10 a.m., August 20th, 1916. Went out into the mud, where it appears every night. Found Martin's crucifix and tin hat. August 20th, 1916. They're getting bold. Saw one out in broad daylight. Pretty sure it was the same one. Buried itself in the mud, just lying there, waiting. We're going over the top at 3. There are more out there now, all doing the same thing. God help us. Official records show that Dave Harkind was declared MIA on August 20th, following a failed British counterattack against the German trenches. Additional queries have revealed that one Brandon O'Malley within the same unit was also reported MIA on the same date. Harkin's journal was found 20 feet from the edge of the German trenches, 2 months after he disappeared. The fuck is the Seas of Orcadia? Huh. We'll have to come back to this. Lucky though, I'd pay for Pasta to read all my books to me in this accent. I'm for hire. All right. The following incident details an SCP-3456 manifestation in Fukushima, Japan following the 2011 earthquake. Several Foundation reconnaissance teams were deployed following the evacuation of the city to assess whether or not the earthquake had been caused by an anomaly. 3456 manifested in several locations during and shortly after the quake, resulting in 2,562 missing persons. Foundation reconnaissance personnel were not expected to encounter 3456 as manifestations had ceased in the prohibited zone 64 hours after the majority of the civilian population was evacuated. Oh, more people must have written stuff around this SCP and got a little universe around it. Cool. We'll probably visit that next time that we do this. Yeah, fucking do it. Larissa, fucking do it. I'll listen. Ping me when that's happening. Do it. Oh, I don't want your fucking golf clubs, Ariska. You keep them. I'm trying to think of what I could use those for, and I can't think of anything other than melting them down. The bag I could probably use. I got enough pole arms. But no, sell them. Sell your golf clubs. It's fine. I appreciate it though. I don't play golf. Where were we? Okay, so we're in Japan right now. Incident log I-3456-32. Log date, 18th of March, 2011, 1400 hours. Forward. Reconnaissance teams were deployed in squads of 4, with one member of each team possessing helmet-mounted camera equipment. The following log details the events surrounding Squad 3. 3 of the 8 teams were noted to have encountered 3456. However, the cameras for Squad 1 and 6 were destroyed early during interaction with 3456 entities. This log is a transcript of the audio and visual feeds between Squad 3 and Command. Other members of the squad were not subject to audio communications between Commander Byrons and the communication officer. Begin log. The helmet-mounted camera is switched on as the reconnaissance squad departs the helicopter transport. The street depicted both in front and behind the unit. As the camera swerves with the operative's head is noted to have sustained significant structural damage, with many visible points where the concrete has buckled or split apart. Would be a bit of a waste because those are nice clubs, but metal is metal. Yeah, I don't play golf. Like the most I will do is go to a driving range, but I have a thing against golf. It's a whole thing. This reconnaissance squad 3. This is reconnaissance. Hold on. I should take a drink and relax. I'm getting too I'm leaning too far forward. I'm really glad that my boss has recognized my coping technique for when I get ahead of myself. A long time ago, I watched a stand-up by the comedian Lewis Black. And Lewis Black got really, really angry at something. And then in order to like stop himself, because he realized that he was stopped being like funny and started just being angry. And so he just like, he puts his palms like facing out as if he's just trying to like stop himself from screaming. And so like he just calmed himself. So I just put my hands out in front of me and I take a deep breath, slow in, slow out. And then I start again. But it's really easy, especially in times of like stress, for me to get ahead of myself. It's mostly the environmental impact that golf has. I'm sure that there's like ways to make golf courses that aren't fucking horrendous for the environment. But what we have currently is just a nightmare. That being said, golf is a sport. It's a tradition that I think should be continued. I don't have any problem with people playing it necessarily. It's just the way that golf courses are run really bother me. Also, the last time somebody tried to teach me how to play golf was awful. It was an awful experience. All right. Sorry. The helmet-mounted camera is switched on as the reconnaissance squad departs the helicopter transport. The street depicted, both in front and behind the unit as the camera swerves with the operative's head, is noted to have sustained significant structural damage, with many visible points where the concrete has buckled or split apart. Also, because the Twitch mobile app is shit, it says you've been timed out but doesn't stop anything. What the fuck? Sorry, I'll stop doing that. It's funny to me, and then it stops being funny. I can't hit a golf ball straight to save my life. Golf and bowling fall under my umbrellas of if you can't spell, don't play Scrabble. Can you play pool, Ooze? This is reconnaissance. This is reconnaissance squad 3, Orange Leader. Command, do you read? Command, reread you, Orange Leader. The feed turns to the left and right, noting 2 other individuals equipped with standard field agent equipment. Mic check. Lopez reporting. Check. Is this thing working? Reading you loud and cleared, Commander. Brian's is seen pointing at the screen. Brian's. Command. Is this the camera in Byers' helmet transmitting? Command. We're getting clear transmission from the camera. Navigation is sending you coordinates. Agent Lopez and Chu have been provided can't counters. Remember, any deviation from the norm is grounds for further investigation. Should you encounter an anomaly, radio its location, and containment teams will be deployed. Under no circumstances is your squad to engage an anomaly. From this point forward, communications with command will be directed to you. Byron's. Roger, Command. The camera tilts slightly downward, pointing at a square device on Agent Byers' wrists. Brian's. Okay. Our target is 3 clicks south. We'll have to cross the Arakawa River here. Chu, Lopez, I want those counters counting as we're moving. The moment those levels look weird, you say something. Got it? Lopez, yes, sir. Chu, got it. Brian's. Byers, you stick close to me. Yeah, golf courses don't need to be perfectly mowed and green all year for it to be fun. The most fun I've had with playing on the beach and trying to hit a random bottle in the sand. Nice. I'm at it pool. It's very unnatural motion. Very few people can pick it up right away without practicing or having like a good baseball swing already. For the next 10 minutes, Squad 3 moves through 5 blocks of damaged buildings and roadways with no sign of anomalous activity. Hey, boss, my counter just got a huge spike. Chu was about to say my needle went all the way to the red for about 3 seconds. Bryans holds up his hand to stop. The reconnaissance members stop in the street. Byers moves slowly in a 360-degree arc as she attempts to locate the source of elevated Hume readings. Bryans. Command, you got all that right? Command. We got it, Orange Leader. We're not picking anything in our visuals or aught. At this point, Command noted the presence of a dull rhythmic thumping. Intensity of the thumps indicate a distance of roughly 300 meters between the source of the disturbance and the camera's microphone. Bryans. Command. Please hold your position, Orange Leader. Lopez. Boss, do you hear that? The sound is noted to have grown slightly louder and decreased in distance from 300 to 250 meters away. Chew. Sounds like a horse walking on pavement. The camera begins another 360 arc as Agent Byers scans the surrounding environment. The noise abruptly ends after 2 minutes of continuous increase in intensity. A crash is heard and the camera swivels 180 degrees. Lopez's cant counter can be seen on the pavement, shattered. Holy shit. Chew. Commander. Brian's. Command, we might have a problem. The camera pans up from the cant counter on the ground and captures 3456 standing in an intersection 200 meters away. The camera zooms in on the entity and Command notes the translucent skin and fused human torso in the middle of the horse's back. The torso appears to remain limp and motionless for 30 seconds. Brian's. Command, believe we have identified the entity responsible for the quake. Command. Negative, Orange Leader. 3456 is not responsible for the earthquake. The communications officer begins talking to one of the high clearance reconnaissance command officials. O'Donnell, we have a 3456 manifestation. Brian's. What? That's 3456? What is it doing here? The torso begins to move, slowly straightening into an upright position. Its arms begin swinging, damaging or destroying several structures around it, drawing Brian's attention. Command. Orange Leader. Command has authorized a UAV drone strike. Move your team out of the street and into the high-rise 2 buildings on your left. Brian's. Roger, Command. The camera focuses on Brian for another 5 seconds as he turns to address the squad before focusing on the entity. 3456 has stopped moving its arms. The entity turns towards the reconnaissance team and emits a loud vocalization for approximately 5 seconds. Command. Orange Leader, get your team out of there. It's seen you. Brian's points to the side of the street, and the camera swivels in that direction, bringing a large high-rise into frame. Brian's. Everybody, move, now! The camera shakes and tilts down as Briars briefly looks at the ground before returning to a level view. The feed swivels to the left briefly and captures the approaching UAV before swiveling to the right. The entity can be seen charging the squad, appendages reaching towards the screen. The UAV drone is seen as a blur by the camera. There is an explosion, and the entity emits a wail and disappears beneath a cloud of smoke. Brian's. Will that kill it? Regina. Command. No, George. It only slows it down. The squad enters the high-rise building and begins climbing the stairs. The camera stops shaking as the squad stops on the 8th floor of the building. Brian's. Regina. Why the hell is it here? Command. An argument can be heard between the communications officer and the head of reconnaissance. Yeah, I'm sorry, the Twitch app sucks. It's good to know that happens, though, so I don't do it again in the future. Unless it's really funny. An argument can be heard between the communications officer and the head of reconnaissance. The screen begins vibrating excessively. The sound of 3456 approaching the building can be heard. Brian is seen directing the squad members to the door of a large utility closet. As Byers closes the door behind them, the video feed displays a shadow blocking out the light of the window. The camera is switched temporarily to night vision by Byers. The camera vibrates 4 more times before the sound of 3456 approaching stops. The entity can be heard breathing heavily outside the window. Brian's. Regina. Come in, Regina. The previously mentioned argument can still be heard. Byers. God damn it. Lopez. Wish we had a way to see what that thing is doing out there. Brian's. We do. We do have a camera. Byers. I am not sticking my head outside that door. Chew. This is a utility closet, right? Lopez. Yeah. Chew. Byers. There's a broom. Is there a broom in here? Lens turned left and right, and a broom can be seen. Yeah, right next to you. Toss me your helmet. The screen wobbles as inverted as Byers removes her helmet and hands it to Chew. The camera shakes several times. The click of flashlight and the sound of tape can be heard torn. The feed stops shaking, and there's a tapping noise. Chew. Good. This should let us see what's going on. You got your remote display on, right? Brian's. We'll be able to see what it's doing out there. Good thinking, Chew. Whatever it is, I hope it's fucked right off. Byers. Innovative as always. The feed wobbles back and forth, and the sound of the closet door can be heard opening. Night vision is disabled as the lens begins detecting light coming through the window. The entity's hand grips the side of the windows, and its face comes into frame from the left, its eyes moving back and forth several times. The entity breathes out briefly, fogging the lens of the camera. It emits a vocalization, causing the camera to drop to the floor. The door is heard slamming shut with the force of vocalization. The entity lingers in the window for a moment before releasing the sides and disappearing from view. 3456 shadow begins moving away from the building and out of frame. The camera shakes and is slowly pulled back into the utility closet. The camera shakes for 60 seconds before it is handed back to Agent Byers. 3 minutes pass before 3456 can no longer be heard. The other three squad members appear visibly shaken by the preceding events. Command. Orange Leader, is your squad still intact? Bryans. Regina, what the hell is going on here? Command. You and two of the other squads have encountered 3456. It wasn't supposed to be here. Bryans. Supposed to be? The hell was Command thinking of sending in here without confirmation? Command. George, this line is being monitored. Bryans. I don't give a damn. You put me and my team in a hot zone with a hostile entity that isn't supposed to be here. I need to inform them. Command. You can't do that, Orange Leader. The security Bryans. Security clearance be damned. We just stared a demon in the face. You think I give a damn about bureaucratic procedures right now? 10 seconds of radio silence pass. Command. You can't tell them what it is. Bryans. God damn it, Regina. Command. You can tell them what it doesn't like. 5 seconds of silence. Bryans. Are you talking about? Command. Fresh water. 15 seconds of silence. Bryans. That's helpful, Regina. What are we supposed to do? Splash a bottle of water on the ground and watch it melt? Command. George, if you get to the bridge over the Arakawa, it won't be able to follow. Bryans looked down at the display on his wrist, which lights up. Regina, the crossing is 1.5 clicks away. We'll never make it. Command. Give me a second. 30 seconds pass in silence. Brian's display lights up again, followed by those of the other three squad members. The video feed tilts down. Command. Your original route took you across the Arakawa upstream at a narrow point. I've rerouted you to the closest crossing. At the river's widest point. Sorry. Water. It's about 1 kilometer out and should take about 15 minutes. If you use the building for cover, the helo is already en route. Bryans. Roger, Command. What is the status of the other two teams? Command. Muffled chatter. We've lost contact. He turns and looks at each member of the group before facing Byers. Bryans. Anne, I need you to poke your head out the door and make sure that thing isn't out there. Perspective shifts slightly as Byers looks out the closet door. 3456 is not seen. Byers. All clear, sir. Bryans. Okay, so here's the deal, folk. We got something out there that isn't supposed to be here. Command has our evac en route, but we need to get over the Arakawa for them to do that. Chew. Any particular reason for that? Why can't they just pick us up here? Bryans, you saw what it can do. Command doesn't want to risk a chopper getting knocked out of the sky. That thing can't cross fresh water. The widest point of the river is 1 kilometer south. We stick to the shadows. We move fast and quiet. That's all you need to know. For now. Bryans is seen giving the signal to move out. The squad spends the next 15 minutes moving between different buildings. The squad stops approximately 50 yards from the bridge. A few meters from a large intersection, frame pans from left to right in a 360 arc as Byers surveys the surrounding buildings. There is no sign of 3456. Bryans. Command, we're 50 yards from the bridge. No sign of the entity. Command, the helo should be on the bridge. Can you see it? Byers turns to the front. The camera zooms, capturing a CH-47 Chinook helicopter on the bridge. Bryans. Roger, Command, we see it. Lopez. Sweet Mary, Mother of Jesus, we're saved. The squad begins walking forward, but stops. The camera experiences several severe vibrations and ticking noises begins as Choose Can't Counter buzzes an alarm. 3456 emerges from the street to their left and 5 meters ahead and turns so that it is directly faces the reconnaissance squad. The torso leans down on the right side. Both the horse and the human torso emit a vocalization. From the bridge, small arms fire can be heard, seen colliding with the entity's skin. 2 RPGs connect. Jesus Christ, hold on. 2 RPGs collide with the entity's collide with the entity along its neck to no effect. Briars, son of a bitch, was waiting for us. Chew, what do we do now? The camera moves down to Brian's and pulls 2 canisters from his belt. Stun grenades. Brian's, we run. Brian's flips the pin on the grenade and looks back at the squad. Brian's, shield your eyes. Hey, ugly! Brian's throws the grenade in the air and begins running forward. Byers looks down to avoid the flash. There's a bang and the entity is heard wailing. Byers looks back up. Lopez and Brian's can be seen in front. They nearly reach the bridge. The camera turns slightly to the left, and Chu can be seen running along Byers. The feed suddenly spins. Byers is level with the ground and begins sliding backwards. The camera lifts up. Byers can be heard screaming. Perspective tilts and shows the entity's hand wrapped around Byers' left leg. Byers' head tilts back to a more level angle, depicting her ascent into the air as she continues screaming. The camera stops and focuses on 3456's face, at which time it seems to be smiling. The lens attempts to focus on something embedded in the entity's forehead and zooms in. A golden crucifix and a World War I British infantry helmet can be seen on the camera feed. Terminates. End log. Timestamps from visual footage indicates 3456 demanifestation at the termination of the video feed. Agent Ann Byers and Luzon Chu have been declared missing and remain unaccounted for. God, I love that one. Fuck, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, so I have a very specific fetish. A very specific genre kink, if you will. Kind of like from top down, I like colonizer goes to place they shouldn't be. Locals warn colonizer about the reason they shouldn't be there. Colonizer ignores locals. Colonizer dies horribly. The Terror, AMC's The Terror is an example of this. Alien and Aliens is an example of this. There's a bunch of examples of this out there in terms of horror. My other favorite genre, one of the biggest ones for me, is highly qualified, highly geared tactical team facing something where tactics don't really work. There is a scene in Cabin in the Woods, the elevator scene. If y'all haven't seen that, that's what I'm talking about. There is Predator. Predator is a really great one. Resident Evil, the first one, really good example of that, where it's like, this tactical team has guns and knows how to use them, but like the first engagement that they have with zombies is they're just firing at like their chests, and eventually they learn that the headshot's the only thing that do it, but not until after they expend so much energy or ammo that it just makes them a little more helpless. I usually have more examples in my head of this, but I can't think of any more right now because I've been talking forever. I definitely need to stop reading. I might need to stop streaming too. I'm not sure. But did everyone have fun today? Was it a good time party? Did we all learn something? Are we all more prepared for what is to come? Okay, well, good, because we're going to go raid Jackie now. Because I'm tired and I want to go to bed. I'm gonna. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Oh my god. All right. Get in the raid. Y'all know the messages, etc. I'll see y'all tomorrow, probably. Bye.